What is going on, guys? It is the end of the boot camp. Um, and man, those videos just take a while. Especially you gotta understand my shoes, man. Like me repeating the same basic stuff I've known for years to people and answering questions is very difficult for me. Like it's like if you were trying to explain to someone what 2 plus 2 is and why 2 plus 2 is what it is. It's just the same thing for me. And hey, man, I love doing it. I love teaching you guys because the results I see from some of you are insane. This guy literally made like 20K the other day in my Discord. I'm like, dude, that's more than me. Um, I mean, I still make good money, but I mean, just some of the people are make more than me. It's crazy, and it's based off my teachings. This is kind of cool to see, I guess. But um, I mean, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this boot camp. To recap a few things, a few important things I think you should take away is um some of the things I talk about will be hindsight until they're not. Like, I think one of the big things I talk about is like when you're going into the chart and you're like, oh, there's an SMT here. Sometimes the SMT will not have an effect until we get the price action that shows it's going to have the effect. So it's like, yeah, you could find a million SMTs in the chart, but they might not matter until you get a model of the SMT. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways you should take away from this bootcamp. Because a lot of you guys are like, oh, this guy's posting SMT that was completely hindsight. Maybe it was, maybe it isn't. A lot of these guys on Twitter and Instagram and everything were fake, so just don't trust anyone. But don't even trust me. Trust me after you can trust me or trust yourself after what you see me teach. You see it on the charts, and then you can trust the charts. You don't even have to trust me. Just see it for yourself on the charts. But that's one of the biggest things. Same thing with like market maker models. I mean, they're kind of hindsight as well, except like the last 50%. Like you can definitely easily catch a move. But I mean, other than that, I mean, there's a lot of various ICT gems I just dropped throughout the whole boot camp. Gems in general that you should take note of. You should have been taking notes the whole time. Um, some notes you're going to notice like, wow, this has a big effect. Like one of my biggest rules in trading is I do not long with equal lows below, and I do not short with equal highs above. Like I'm talking like these perfect ones. I'll show you an example from today. We had perfect equal lows here. Never in the world would I have ever longed anything here. Like let's say we got the most bullish fair value gap here ever, but we did not obviously. It's against my rules to long with like equal lows here because 9 times out of 10 these are gonna be hit, and the one time they're not hit and we just pump 100 points, I don't care. I'm saving myself 9 other times. That's like the biggest rule I have for myself. That's definitely a good takeaway. That's a good rule. If I were to give you one rule, that would be it. But yeah, man. I mean, this was a pretty good boot camp. A lot of valuable information. There's some things I didn't cover, but I don't really think you need to know. Like, you'll eventually probably run into what volume and balances are, maybe OTE, like standard deviations. The big thing about me is I strongly believe you only need fair value gaps, highs and lows to be profitable. I don't use any of the other extra stuff. I don't use like all this math theory, quarterly theory, whatever. I feel like you don't need it. I've been pretty profitable trading myself. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story. So today, I made a big mistake. I actually broke one of my rules today. We all do it, even me, even the teacher. ICT's probably broken his own rules. And if you follow or know anything about ICT on Twitter, he does not post losses on the timeline. I guarantee you he takes losses. But I made a mistake today, and I'm getting a payout. I was supposed to get 2 payouts on a Apex account. And by the way, the other thing, make sure you buy an Apex. I promise you, buying an Apex account, you will not regret it. That will help you the most. I'll talk more about that after the story. But I was supposed to get 2 payouts. I was supposed to get paid 5K. And basically what happened is I made a stupid mistake, and now I'm only getting paid 2K because of a mistake I made on an account where I shouldn't have even traded it today. So as unfortunate as it seems, I broke my rules and I paid for it. Now, if I didn't break my rules, do you think I would have gotten both payouts? Yes, I would have. And I'm telling you, rules are so hard to follow. And what I did after I broke my rules is I actually went for a mile run. I ran a 5:45 mile time. Keep in mind, I'm 200 pounds, so it's not the easiest in the world, but 5:45, not a bad time for being 200 pounds, you know? So I punished myself. I told my Discord, I literally made an announcement about it, and I'm like, hey guys, this is the first time in a while, though. I always follow my rules now. I used to never follow them, but honestly, the more you break your rules and the more consequences you see from breaking your rules, the more you're going to want to follow them. And I haven't broken my rules in a long time, so I was kind of testing my limits, but this is just a good reminder that, yeah, you're going to make mistakes, and I think it's good to be transparent. And I'm not perfect either. Now, that's like the big thing. So the other thing is, like, a lot of people like say, like, should I start a personal account? And I've already talked about it in the futures video. Go watch the futures video, but get an Apex account. The link is in the description. They have sales all the time. There's literally an 80% off sale right now, I think, or maybe 71% off. Just type in code Dodgy at checkout, and you'll get, just like, buy 5 of them. Practice them. They're like their play money. You can get like 5 50K accounts for like $100. They're play money. It's so worth it. They're such good practice, and they're not like, they are demo accounts, but you're paying for them, so it's not like an actual paper trading account. And they're just, I don't know, they're so good. Again, go get a few. I mean, a lot of people I've seen successful are people actually trading those because they have this dumb trailing drawdown rule, and it honestly made me like a really good trader because I had to put up with that rule so much. So yeah. And the other final remark that I have is, if you truly watch every video, you took notes, and you made it to here, you do not have 100% success rate at being profitable. You have a very high chance, a lot more than the others that didn't make it here. And I told everyone, I'm like, I bet you more than 80% of people from the beginning of the video, or from my first video, from the introduction, did not make it here. And I guarantee you I'm going to be right. But even if you did make it here, you took notes, there's going to be some people who still give up. And it's not because of the strategy, it's because of their emotion. I know some great traders who are just, their psychology is not built for trading. You need 5 to 10 years, and they're not willing to do that. If you can figure out your psychology in about 2 to 3 years, I would say that's definitely the golden zone to figure out psychology. Like today, I made a stupid mistake. It was psychology. It had nothing to do with the strategy. First mistake in a long time, so it doesn't really affect me as much anymore. But if you can master your psychology in 2 to 3 years, I think you're going to be good. There's some people who just, they're not going to be built for trading because it's going to take them way too long to master their psychology or their emotions. They're going to be too emotional. And I'm not saying to give up, but I'm saying you really, really, really got to put in the extra work. Okay, you really do. It's tough, I know. It's, again, the biggest thing that I've seen regarding everyone after learning all this stuff is your win rate gets so high that when you take those couple losses, you're like, dude, I can't take a loss. I need to be right. I know we're running this trendline liquidity. What happened to me today is, like, I was like, dude, there's no way we don't run this trendline liquidity. And we usually do 9 times out of 10, but today happened to be the 10% where we didn't. So I kind of got a little mad, and I broke my rules, and the rest is history. So you will be wrong, and you have to accept being wrong. You have to accept defeat. I'm a perfectionist. It's hard for me. Okay, I get it. But that's like the biggest takeaway I will tell you. You just have to want it so, you want to have it. You need to have it bad. Like, you want to have it bad, because if you don't want it bad enough, you don't trust the process, and you don't enjoy the process, and you're not passionate about it, it's probably not a good fit for you. I'm so passionate about, like, just trading. It's so fun. It's not gambling if you manage your risk. It's just so damn fun to log in the charts every day and call price live in front of 500 people in my Discord. It's like, it's so fun, because it's fun being right. It's like a video game, but at the same time, the one time you're wrong, you do have to manage your risk, and that's what you have to be careful about. So again, if you did get this far in the video, comment the word end. I wonder how many of the same names are going to be at the beginning who comment the word start. I doubt a lot of people, but we'll see. And I do have my own little mentorship. It's not really, I mean, it's just I live stream every day. It is paid if you're interested in that. I call price live time very, very well. I've been on a hot streak the last month, so hopefully you keep that up, but I'm pretty good at it. It's not a signal service. Sometimes it'll execute on the screen. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes I'll literally just verbally say, oh, I'm getting in here, maybe on an eval account or whatever. But it's meant for you to learn and see the setups and see the signatures and price 50 million times of me calling it out. Like, there's some people who literally just get good because they've seen me call out so many of the same setups. They're like, oh my God, this is like a setup Dodgy always calls. I'm going to take it. And that's why they're profitable. And I'm telling you, it's just repetition, repetition, repetition. All right. History does not repeat, but it does rhyme. All right. You have to understand that there's going to be a lot of repetition and there's going to be setups you've seen before. It's like, oh my God, this is a light bulb setup. Like, this is a good setup. And you know, that's that. So I do appreciate you guys watching. The last ICT gem before I go is this. If you're ever looking to buy in a big zone or something, whatever it may be, maybe it's here. Never buy blindly off the 4-hour chart. Do not guess where we're going to bounce off this. Here, for example, when we come into the zone, you have no idea where we're going to bounce. And this stop loss is way too big. You have not a single clue where we're going to bounce in this whole zone. Always, always, always go to the smaller time frame, the 1 to 5 minute. And that's when you want to camp and wait for a 1 minute setup out of the hourly. Take a 1 minute model. Don't just blindly long the hourly for every value gap just because you feel like it. I use the 1 to 5 minute for entries only and the 15 and above for bias. I do not enter anything on the 15 and above. You can change that if you want. That's fine, but I'm just being honest. And you can see we got a nice 1 minute entry here as I talked about last video. A nice 1 minute inverse fair value gap with also a fair value gap here that was respected. So just that's my biggest tip. You're going to get wrecked if you just blindly buy things. You need to wait for a kind of second confirmation model, I call it. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I will continue to upload YouTube videos. Again, a lot of good stuff. This is just going to be a boot camp. My later videos are just going to be more focused on like more maybe some intermediate term stuff, but it's not going to be like super basic. But it will be good information. So stay tuned for more videos after this. I'll probably try to do like 2 to 3 per week if possible. I know I've been uploading 5 times a week for the past 2 months because these bootcamp videos. But again, don't forget to comment the word end if you got this far. Like I said, I doubt 80% of you have. And as always, don't forget to use code Dodgy for Apex. Thank me later. You can get real money on it, and it's so cheap. It's just thank me later. Watch the futures video if you want to go over that again. So that is it for now. I'll see you guys later. And without further ado, peace.